Alright, the meaning of logs. Logarithms, that is. Now, a logarithm is a different way of writing an exponential situation. Now, for example, if you have log base 2, or base 6 rather, of 36 is equal to 2, what this means is the 6 is what we call the base. The 2 is the power. And this is the answer. So we can rewrite this as 6 squared is equal to 36. Now, this can be utilized in a lot of different ways. If you don't know what the power is, you can have that as an x, and then you can actually use this and put this into a graphing calculator, find out points of intersection, and figure out what that x value is going to be. So this is very helpful to find very weird values of x. So what we call this is exponential form. This is the logarithm form. So between those two, you need to be able to kind of move back and forth, because there's your base, which was the base from here. There's your power, your exponent, and here is your answer. So everything is there. And being able to go from one to the other is what you need to be able to do. Now, for example, 12 squared is equal to 144. Well, duh. If we look at this and we say, well, there's my base, there's my power, there's my answer. I can convert this to a log. And I say, hey, the base is 12, so I'm going to put a base of 12 here. And the power is 2, so I know if I put an equal sign, the 2 will go on the other side of the equal sign, because that's where the power goes, from up here. And the answer to the problem, 144, is right here. So we get those two situations going really, really, really well. Now, like I said, you have to be able to convert between these and deal with all the different situations that come from that. Let's see some good ones here. You can evaluate where you have, for example, log base 4 of 64. And say, all right, I need to know what the answer to this is. Well, what I would do is I would say, all right, well, this is equal to an x. And I can say 4 to the x is 64. Now, if you don't have a calculator and you don't know your powers that well, then just take 4 times 4, and you get 16. This is 4 squared. So I already know that x isn't 2 because I need x to be the power that gets me to 64, but it only gets me to 16. So I'm going to multiply it by another 4. 6 times 4 is 24. Carry the 2. 4, that's a 6. 64, that's 4 cubed. Works out. I know x is going to be equal to 3 because 4 cubed is equal to 64. So that is the meaning of what we have in these different cases. Now, a couple different examples, some crazy stuff that you'll run into. Now, for example, where's a good one? Let's see here. Log base 343 of 7, and I want to find a value for this. Let's say this is equal to x. So 343 to x is equal to 7. Now, the general rule is when you have a big number raised to a power and you get a small number, x is going to be some kind of fraction. Or even better yet, it might be a negative exponent, too. No, not a negative exponent, a fraction. Because if x is a fraction, x is a power, the fraction is going to give us a root of some kind. So if I take 7, and what I want to do is I want to say 7 to the y power. And if I go 7 squared, that's equal to 49. 7 cubed is equal to 49 times 7, which is 343. So I know 7 cubed is going to be equal to 343. But now, if that's the case, 7 cubed is equal to 343. If I do this, if I take this to the 1/3, take this to the 1/3, I get 7, and that's going to be 7 as well. So 1/3 is the value that I'm kind of looking for in this case. So the log of 343 to the 7 is equal to 1/3. So you just got to be careful about what you're doing in that case. Now, a lot of these are going to be in different situations. If you have, for example, the log base 6 is equal to 1 over 216, and that's equal to x, then you're saying to yourself, all right, 6 to the x is equal to 1 over 216. X should be negative. So if x is going to be negative in this case, I need to figure out 6 to what power is equal to 216. 6 times 6 is equal to 336. Times another 6, that's 6, that's 3, that's 18, that's 216. 6 cubed is equal to 216. So what value is going to get to 1 over 216? And that's 6 to the negative 3 is equal to 216, because this means 1 over 6 cubed is equal to 1 over, 1 over 216. And then we're good to go. So now I know x is equal to negative 3. So, like I said, I know this is quick. It's very, very quick. But this is something that we really, 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 really need to be able to do. So, quickness, I understand that. Go ahead, watch this a few times, get the hang of it. Do some research. Take a look at, do the Google, search for logarithms and the properties of logarithms, and you'll be able to see all this. But common sense, use your powers, everything like that. You'll find out that this is not that difficult. A lot of it is just straightforward plugging and chugging, not a lot of decision making. Do you have to make a decision here? Absolutely. Do you have to make a decision here? Absolutely. Do you have to make decisions over here? Not so much. It kind of works out the way that it works out. So, just be calm with it. It's good to go. You'll be all set. Everything will be okay. And plus, my door is always open. You can get the help you need.